Welcome to the shooting show. This week I'm down the local dairy farm trying to thin out a few crows which are raiding the maize silage. So this is where I'm going to be setting up my hide, just in this corner of this fence line here. This makes a really good kind of natural hide because, as you can see, there's already some bramble and stuff that's growing up around the fence, so it's already sort of a partial hide anyway. It's a hide that I've used before, this corner of the fence. I've sat in there and decoyed crows quite a few times here, so I know it works. You tend to get crows that come in from the woods down the bottom corner there, as well as the tall trees, and over the back there's a big rookery right out the back there as well, where they come in from. So yeah, here's a good location. They come in basically on the flight line straight from those two areas straight towards the farm. So yeah, I'm fairly optimistic setting up a hide here with a few decoys just out on the grass. Then hopefully I'll be able to pull them in before they get to the silage clams. Well, that's the hide all built, so pop back tomorrow and see how we get on. Right, so that's all the decoys set up, and I can hear some geese over in the field behind. And the farmer did say that he'd seen up to 100 geese on the fields at the back there. Could I do something about it? Well, if they get up and come over this way, I'll certainly do something about it. It's just getting light now, so we should see some action from the crows. They'll be coming over soon, I'd imagine. So that was a brilliant start to the morning. I just had 5 or 6 geese come straight over from the farm, straight over the top of me, and I managed to knock one down out of that lot. So yeah, that was a good start. You might still get a few more coming over. I can still hear 1 or 2 out the back there. Depends which way they fly. They might fly out this way, they might fly out a different direction. I've just got another Canada goose. Luckily I brought a few threes with me. Seems to be doing the job. I quite like threes for geese. Seems to be quite a good combination of pattern and a bit of knockdown. So yeah, just still shot. So when I'm decoying, I always carry with me a load of strips of wire like this, just cut to about 6 or 8 inches long, just a fairly stiff wire. And what I do is I use these to peg the decoys out, or peg the dead crows out I should say, and use them as decoys, which works better than anything else. So this morning I'm testing out a pair of the Sense earplugs, and I've got to say they're very comfortable, certainly work well. So I've not really worn earplugs much before, I've always gone with electronic ear muffs, but these are certainly a lot more comfortable, like an injection moulded like rubbery silicone stuff, and they sort of squirt that in your ears. They're all custom made for your ears. They squirt it in there and then they insert like the electronic chip bit into that. So yeah, I could quite get used to wearing these. I might wear them a bit more often because it actually improves my hearing as well. So this morning I'm using a old Roku shotgun, just over and under, but I've had this one years. As you can see, there's a chunk of the fore-end missing, so it's proper rough shooting gun. But yeah, I quite like it. Seems to shoot pretty well. Got a tact cam on there as well, which is what I'm using to record the shots through. Hopefully they come out all right. Sounds like there's a lot of activity down at the farm there. Here and see a lot of crows and jackdaws down there. Typically, I think what's happened is they've all sort of flighted in from the other side. So probably been wise to have set up around the other side, but I've managed to get a few this morning, so I'll keep plucking away at them. So it looks like I've had the best of the action there. Wasn't as many as I thought were going to come in, but I think that's probably down to me probably setting up in the wrong place, to be honest. I probably should have been the other side of the farm. Sometimes with different wind directions, different feeding routines on the farm, things can change, so it may just be that just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But even so, I still managed to knock down about 20 odd birds, so not too bad. A couple of geese as well, which is a bonus, and a couple of magpies. So I'm going to clear up, pick up all my empty shells and that, and go out and pick up all the decoys and get rid of all the dead ones. So I'll keep the gun handy just in case anything else floats over. Alright, so I've had a pretty successful morning this morning. Shot a few crows, a couple of magpies, and also a couple of Canada geese, which the farm was very pleased with. Not only has he gone for his dinner tonight, but he was quite pleased because there were quite a few of them out on the back fields of the farm here, and he was a bit concerned, so he was quite pleased to see at least a couple of them getting knocked down. He was also very pleased to see a bundle of dead crows there. The crows come in first thing in the morning, they raid the maize silage clamps, so it's important to sort of just kind of keep on top of the numbers here. In fact, sometimes I've had bags of up to 100 or over 100 actually down here, so 20 odd's not massive bag, but it's a little dent in the population, so yeah, very pleased. Yeah, that's it for this week, and I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you're not already a member of BASC, it is time to join. I'm a member of BASC, and in fact the farmer here wouldn't let me shoot on this farm if I wasn't, so for no other reason but for that, it's worth the money.
Hi, I'm Chris Parkin and I'm out tonight foxing with the latest Kahles TI-25 thermal imaging monocular. Welcome to the shooting show. Twin buttons offer simple operation. The rear controls on-off as well as the 3 colour palettes: white hot, black hot or red hot. The front button controls digital zoom of 1, 2 or 4 times the standard 1.7 times optical magnification. The shutter for screen refresh can be automated, and the screen itself will turn on and off automatically depending on position to save battery life. Internal screen focus is controlled with a recessed wheel on the rubber eye cup. Front objective collar controls image focus depending on quarry distance. The 25mm diameter f1.0 lens seems to give great depth of field without requiring constant refocusing, and makes scanning of fields far easier. Field of view spans 26 metres at 100 metres distance. I was easily able to initially detect foxes well over 500 metres away, even in broken cover. Over shorter grass, this distance extended to 750 metres. This fox, visible through the Pard rifle sight, is about 350 metres away. The 1024 by 768 pixel screen offers superb texture to illustrate temperature variation regardless of which thermal mode you're in.
Wait!
Overall shape is perhaps a little boxier than some, but doesn't roll on your chest. The twin underside lanyard anchors keep it well planted for immediate access with either hand. Battery charging is done with a supplied USB-C cable. This is rated for up to 8 hours between the operating temperature range of -20 to +50 degrees. I've certainly had 6-hour evenings with intermittent on-off periods I naturally instigate to save battery power between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius.
I shot it from high up, well certainly above it. Somewhere in here we'll have the entry. It's just here actually, I think. Right.
Overall dimensions are 198 by 68 by 63 mm and 430 gram weight, an optimum balance between hand filling yet not too easily lost.
So summing up about the Kahles TI-25. I think some people might be a bit disappointed, and it's certainly a little bit more difficult as a filmmaker having to talk about, you know, the image quality without any footage to back it up in a world where a lot of people want footage. But the flip side to that is you do save quite a lot of money by not having that capability or things like Wi-Fi, and you gain in simplicity with only having 2 buttons, and there's less confusion over the control structure and control network. You're not, as I put it, playing a clarinet in the dark on the buttons using one of these. The automation means that when it's hanging around your neck like that, or if you put it down on a bale or a bench or on the seat of the truck or something next to you, it automatically goes off. And especially when you're walking around, it's not glowing, it's not wasting the battery, and it's not illuminating your face like a beacon for, you know, wary quarry to pick up and notice. One thing I specifically noticed about the Kahles is that when you're looking at quarry on the skyline, a lot of them before, if you move too much into the skyline, the image auto dims far too much, and of course the foreground blacks out almost and you can't see anything. So you find yourself aiming deliberately low and looking into the top of the screen to see things like that. Now using the Kahles, I found that if you went over too much sky, where it's very cold and the image dims out because it overexposes this, that and the other, well the Kahles blip low for a very fractional split second, and then it fully came back with a much better graduation between the cold and the hot areas. Now, I don't think that's specifically down to the sensor itself. I think that's down to some of the way it's been programmed by the manufacturer. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with it, and I found it less fatiguing and less tiresome to use. Similarly, I could say the same about the rear ocular lens. Sometimes you get very critical focal points on these lenses and it's like looking through a pinhole, and if your head or position changed slightly, you lose focus. That wasn't the case with the Kahles. The ocular lens is very well ground, it's forgiving, and of course I personally like monoculars because I like to be able to swap instinctively from one eye to the other because it evens out my loss of night vision from looking into a very bright screen. Now in the olden days, as they say, you needed to keep night vision in at least one of your eyes. Whereas now, when you're using one of these pretty much the whole time in the darkness and you're moving over to a night vision rifle scope as well, that image, you know, the problem isn't there anymore because you've got the brightness on both of the screens. It's not like trying to pick up small details in natural light with human eyesight. Well, thank you for watching this week's show. I'd like to thank all of the show sponsors, and for you, please like, please subscribe, and please comment, because your comments are what drive us to make more videos. Make sure you click the notification bell because you'll see new shows every week. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.